What's your name?
Dustin Poirier.
And where do you fight out of?
Gladiators Academy, Lafayette, Louisiana.
Before Dustin Poirier would unleash his power on the UFC, fighting his way to the top in the lightweight rankings.
You know, some guys have had easier routes to title fights. I did it the old-fashioned way.
Before Dustin Poirier would earn himself a rematch against Conor McGregor and have a shot at redemption.
He's done it all right. Congratulations to him. But now it's time to fight again. Conor, I'm gonna take you out.
Before Dustin Poirier would have over 400,000 followers on Twitter and almost 2 million followers on Instagram at the time of this recording. Dustin Poirier's risen through the ranks of the UFC in large part due to his ability to always get better, something that has propelled him into becoming a force to be reckoned with in the world of combat sports.
Defeats were instead a catalyst for improvement.
He will come back stronger, more determined, better, and more experienced.
A kid who grew up spending his time in juvenile detention centers, things haven't always gone Dustin's way, but that's okay because he'll continue working his ass off to achieve whatever it is that he sets his mind to. Now for him, losses are nothing more than speed bumps on the way to success. And pretty soon the man who holds victories over the likes of Max Holloway, Eddie Alvarez, and Justin Gaethje, well, he's about to get his chance at redemption when he steps foot into the octagon to take on the man who defeated him over 6 years ago. Of course, I'm talking about Conor McGregor.
Just more mature fighters, and I think you get a completely different fight here. I was very emotional in that first one.
But if you were to hear Dustin talk about his upcoming fight, he'd tell you it has nothing to do with revenge at all. Instead, it has everything to do with the things that are important to him: family, charity, and success. He told MMA Junkie, "It's not about revenge and payback, it's about prosperity, about putting my family in position to be successful. It's about raising awareness to the Good Fight Foundation and helping bring awareness to people in need. It's a lot of things. It's about being the world champion. It's about getting closer to that title. It's not about revenge. It's about work and grind. That's what it's about. Success." I guess Conor McGregor is if you want a little more spice, a little more drama, be sure to check out his bio. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Michael McCrudden back in again with a brand new video, this time taking a look at the come up of Dustin Poirier, here for you, of course, on Before They're Famous. Now, we've got a rich life and an epic biography we've dropped on Conor McGregor like yesterday or the day before or tomorrow, so be sure to subscribe if you're not already. I messed up the intro, but what are you gonna do? Let's get into this video. Hey, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell. Boom! Dustin Glenn Poirier was born on January 19, 1989 in Lafayette, Louisiana, and if there's nothing that can be said for him, well, it's that he's Louisiana bred through and through. In fact, Dustin, well, he's so proud of his Cajun heritage that he never passes up on an opportunity to discuss it. He told Flow Combat, "A lot of people don't realize the term Cajun describes a region in Louisiana. The Acadians were forced out of Nova Scotia and went down to settle in Louisiana. The place Daniel Cormier and I are from is kind of the center of that area." Now that quote, it might make him sound like a history teacher, but Dustin, he only attended Northside High School for a short amount of time. He dropped out in the 9th grade after repeatedly finding himself in street fights. Now he realized that he was learning more from the school of life, collecting aluminum cans and pecans on the street, than he was in actual class, so he decided to drop out to focus on his training as a fighter. Now as a youngster, well, Dustin, he played all kinds of different sports, and he even messed around with boxing for a little bit. But he gradually found himself gravitating towards fighting more and more. Now he found a type of purity in two men fighting one another, and even back in the day when he was getting into fights in the schoolyard, well, he found a sense of calmness in all that chaos, a sensation that he really enjoyed.
When you know how mean you can be, it's easy to be nice, or it was something like that, you know. It's kind of humbling, just the whole fighting experience and traveling around and beating people up and getting beat up, so you kind of find out you're human, you know, and everybody knows that, but you know what I mean.
After spending time in a juvenile detention center, a positive influence finally entered his life when he met his eventual wife, Jolie. Now they fell in love as teenagers, and her support, it finally had Dustin feeling a sense of stability that he had otherwise been lacking. Now together they bought a house in Fayetteville at the age of 18, and with her love and support, well, Dustin, he would continue to train to accomplish his dreams of becoming a professional fighter, while also driving a delivery truck for a building distribution company, you know, to make some extra money on the side. Dustin had his first MMA fight against Gilbert Gimenez at an event called Love Entertainment Full Throttle at the Louisiana Superdome in 2009. Now the fight, it went 3 rounds, and Dustin, well, he would win by unanimous decision. Now a bunch more regional promotional fights would follow as Dustin, he worked his way towards a stellar 7-0 record. His debut in the world of MMA, it came in August of 2010 at World Extreme Cage Fighting 50 in Las Vegas, Nevada, where he lost to Danny Castillo by unanimous decision. Now, rather than let that loss on the biggest stage get him down and define him, well, Dustin, he regrouped and took on Zach Mickelwright only 3 months later, defeating him in the first round by technical knockout.
And then, good job. I mean, Mickelwright was pretty much out on his feet here.
It was around this time that the UFC merged with WEC, which led to the transfer of all WEC fighters to the UFC roster. And just like that, Dustin, he was in the big leagues. Now, his first fight inside the UFC octagon was in the featherweight division against Josh Crispy, as a replacement for featherweight champion Jose Aldo. Now, Dustin would go on to win that bout with yet another unanimous decision. Now, after racking up 4 wins in a row in the UFC, well, Dustin found himself in one of his most notable fights ever, taking on Chan Sung Jung in the main event at UFC on Fuel TV 3 in May of 2012. Now, although he would lose this match, well, Dustin fought well enough to earn himself his first Fight of the Night honor, and the match was eventually awarded Fight of the Year from the likes of ESPN. More important than the accolades that he earned from the match was that it spurred his moving on from training with Gladiators Academy to American Top Team.
I came to American Top Team because I want to be the best fighter in the world. And I feel like I have to surround myself with those kind of guys, you know, some of the best fighters in the world.
Now, Dustin knew that he wanted to continue on an upwards trajectory to his career, that things needed to change. So he switched up trainers and he moved to Florida. Sensing that her husband, he needed her, well, Josie, she dropped out of nursing school in Louisiana and also moved down to Florida, so, well, she could be with Dustin full-time. She didn't want him going all Floribama or whatever. What's that Jersey Shore show? I'm getting off topic. Now, following 2 definitive victories in his next 2 matches, well, things were once again going Dustin's way. Before he knew it, he was about to have the biggest fight of his young career against an opponent who was still relatively new to the UFC, but rising up the ranks like wildfire. His name, of course, well, yeah, you guessed it, Conor McGregor.
Da-da-da-da-da, it's the motherfucking D-O-double-G.
Dustin would lose by technical knockout in the first round, and all you need to do is take a quick look at Dustin's Twitter page after his loss to realize that this affected him, well, rather deeply. In fact, he made a huge decision after that loss. Instead of sticking with the weight cutting that was required to stay in the featherweight division, well, Dustin, he would take a step up to the lightweight division. Now, Dustin has been wildly successful ever since, going 10-2 in the lightweight division over the last 5 years, and working his way to becoming the number 2 fighter in the division and the overall number 7 fighter in UFC's pound-for-pound rankings. In short, he's become a force of nature now that he's in a division that lends itself more naturally towards his size. He's defeated 3 former UFC champions during his run, including Eddie Alvarez, Anthony Pettis, and Max Holloway, which was for the interim lightweight title. He went on to face Khabib Nurmagomedov in an unofficiated bout, but he lost in the 3rd round by submission, because you don't mess with Khabib. But all of this is just preamble, as Dustin, he looks for a rematch against Conor McGregor. And these two, they're about to clash for the 2nd time. And if you're anything like me, well, you can't wait to find out what I'm so excited I can't even talk. As for the future endeavors outside of the octagon, well, it might surprise you that Dustin, well, the guy loves to cook. In fact, he's an aspiring chef, and he hopes one day that he's gonna have his own cooking show on the Food Network. He told Flow Combat. I'm dead serious about wanting my own show someday. I have so many ideas, and it would be a lot of fun. Dinner with the Diamond has a nice ring to it, right? It sure does, Dustin. Good luck with your fight, and as for the rest of the story, well, I think we're gonna wrap this one up here, because this, of course, is before they're famous. Sorry, I got a little tongue-tied there. I'm actually rooting for Conor. Parents are from Ireland, so it only makes sense. You know, fighting Irish. What are you gonna do? All right, guys, I think that's it. I'll see you guys in another video. Boom!
Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more videos that you'll be interested, click right here. Check out the playlist over here, and don't forget to subscribe.